Okay, I've changed the setting a bit. Can you hear me now? How about now? Now? Can you hear me now? Yay! Oh my God. I've been doing all that talking and explaining, and nobody heard anything. Weird. Okay, well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to do. So basically, what I'll do is I'll start again. I'm not going to be too long. I'll start again, for the two people that I can see chatting at least. I don't know if people are viewing. So start again. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm testing out some of the new sequences. Yeah, the first one is the rhythm step. So we just solo that. All I'm doing here is well, you probably know because you've watched me do it, but I'm just selecting the sound based on the drum rack. So this little square here is completely represented here. So this yellow dot, basically, high 12 maxi single mixtapes. So this 12 here is representative of this kick, right? So, oh God, don't tell me we can't hear this now. Oh no, here we go. So let's listen to, because I've soloed this clap. So that thing there basically is the kick. So if we solo this, it's basically going to play what's here. And the chances of it playing are based on how high it is. So if you go right to the top, it's 100%. It's always going to play. Although right now, I can't quite work out why it's not playing all the time. Let me just try and have another look. Let's do it again. Yeah, interesting. It could be the fact that I've soloed it and that's screwed it up. So basically, yeah, 100% chance of it playing. And that's it really. And then we have, here we go. We've got alternative buttons. So basically what alternative is, in the same block, I've made a decision to select this item, the alternative being blue, this item here, whenever it plays. Let's just listen to it actually. Let's just switch the alternative off because it's going to confuse things. I'm going to just reduce all of this stuff to nothing. So I just press these crosses here actually to do that. And so what tends to happen is the second square tends to be the snare. That's just how it's set up by default. But you can change it to whatever you want. So if we just say, for example, play the snare here. We could, for example, change it to, I don't know, cowbell. And we can reduce the chances of the cowbell playing by 50% or so. And similarly, we can just say, we can get the snare going in this one. Now this is actually the hi-hat. So we can use this one for the snare. Okay, so what's happening here is previously I'd set the roll on. So what roll does, actually let's try roll here. And what we'll do is we'll randomize what's happening in this track. So we're going to go and select a closed hi-hat instead of those claps. So what will happen is you can choose roll. I like roll 32 because it sounds cool. And yeah, you can hear that roll happening, which is super cool. You obviously don't want to go overboard with the roll, but it's just really so easy to be honest. So we'll just go back to here. I think there's too much of the hi-hat going on, so we'll just switch some of it down. Okay, so that's super cool. And so the other thing I wanted to show you is how this kind of all works, because, for example, with the hi-hat, say, for example, this is going to go through and scroll through 16 times. There's 16 steps here. But we can, say, scroll it 4 times. You can see everything's grayed out now. And I've got this auto thing set on because if you don't, what will happen is after a while it goes really out of sync and sounds a bit weird. You can reset it by clicking this resequence button here, but I've got auto after 2 bars. basically starts it all again. Let's set that to 5. 5 is an interesting number. And for this one here, let's just get rid of that cowbell. Let's try something different. Now this is interesting. So there's another setting here called slide. I would imagine that could work well with that sound. Let's just see. I don't know. Yeah, not sure about that one. So we just switch that all off. And we've got velocity settings, so we can randomize those. Let's do that. That will actually make the hi-hat sound more interesting. And then we've got the timing settings where we can slightly change the timing of the beat so it's not right on the 4. So you can set it up to kind of swings a bit. I'm going to just bring them back to normal. Actually, let's just do that there like that. And that's pretty much it in terms of how this thing works, to be honest. I did show you alternative. So alternative is the alternative hit, but it's using exactly the same settings. So so it's using the velocity, slide, roll settings, but in terms of alternative, there's a different, instead of this thing playing, the alternative one is playing, if you know what I mean. So so the alternative sound here will be this sound here, this fatso sound. Let's give that a go. Let's try roll here. Yeah, pretty cool. And the other thing I did was when you couldn't hear me, I put in a effect called OTT. So I like the sound being a bit flattened. Not too flattened, but you know, you've got a bit more control over the sound that way. You can go mental and make it really loud. Okay, so that's enough of that. The other thing I did, but I think you'll see that in the drum rack, is I added some reverb to snare, I think it was to snare and to clap. Oh yes, I did. So I added hybrid reverb to the clap. So what I did was you've got these options, I guess, here. And I can't remember where I set it actually, but you can switch. Oh, here we go. So you've got this algorithm. So basically there's the hybrid reverb is the reverb of Ableton plus a reverb of a sample. So when we say algorithm, we've got two playing together. So you've got the early reflections, which is the Ableton one. Then you've got the sample that's in here. So I can put kind of any sample I want in here. Let's do that one, I think. Oh no, need an actual sample. Anything will do, just kind of random. So if we put this sample in here, and it'll kind of have the reverb of the bell, the extract of that coming in, as well as the sort of the generic sound here. I just love the hybrid reverb. I think hybrid reverb is amazing. So the other thing we're going to do is we're going to change that. We're going to change that sound. Where is it? Here it is. Just switch it off. So yeah, it's here actually, that really annoying sound. So we just bring that back to here. It's better. So on this one here, we've also got another reverb, hybrid reverb. absolutely wrong. That's not hybrid reverb. That's actually a drum sampler. Actually, let's play with a drum sample. Yeah, I could be playing with this for ages. I could be playing with this for a long time. So I'm just going to move on to the other sequencer, which is one I've just started really playing a lot with in the last couple of weeks. And that is the SQ. It's a Max for Live, so just bring that in here. Oh, so have I done that already? Yes, I did that before I was talking to you guys. So basically, switch this off. So basically, I set this up. If we just listen to this now. So what I've done is I added a bass and I've set this sequencer up. Sorry about the emails that are coming in. I set the sequencer up to play like this, I guess. Then I put an OTT on top of that as well. Anyway, let's get started with the sequencer. So basically what will happen here is you've got all of these excellent, really interesting options, and we're going to basically reset them all, just double click them, and you'll get them at basically their same level. So this is how it would sound just out of the box. And the first thing I did was I decreased the octave. So I went and selected an octave of anything between 0 and 3. But actually in this case, I just want it down by 2, I think. That's it. So this is selecting all of these, but you know, if you want, you can change any one of them specifically like that. And we can increase the steps to 16 if we want. So let's just do it again. Actually, that might be more interesting in this case. Just a couple down, a couple up. Excellent. So that's a lot of fun. With the pitch, we can do the same thing. So, you know, by default, you've got up to 12 notes in the pitch, positive and negative. So you can select any note in each step, up to 12 notes, up an octave or down. And I find with the bass line, that is a little bit over the top. This is what I mean. So if we just randomize that, it's a little bit too much. So the best thing to do is kind of restrict it to 3, 4, or 5. Let's restrict it to 5. So these numbers are between -5 and 5. Even that's too much. Let's restrict that to 3. Or 2. Let's do that. The more you press them, the more different randomizations come across. I forgot. This song is supposed to be in E minor, but I haven't switched on the current scale. So you should bring it to E minor. I'm hoping that's going to work. Not sure. Let's randomize it again. Hopefully it's going to randomize it in E minor. So if we select more notes, it might sound a bit better. Let's select a different let's select Mixolydian and see what happens when we... Yeah, so when you change it, it does sound different. Locrian and Phrygian. I'm going to stick to Mixolydian as I think that sounds cool. So we can bring this up to 5 and try that. I really like these live streams because in the live streams you can just say whatever's in your mind. Whereas with the tutorials, you really have to think and plan carefully. So this is a lot more fun, actually. So let's go in, and we've messed with octave and pitch. Let's bring that back down to 2 there. And what we're going to do is try velocity. Velocity is set to 100. So let's just move all of them down at the same time. So I'm just going to drag this down. Let's set a velocity range of up to 20. No, that's too low. Up to 50. And let's select length as well, and we'll select a length range of up to 50 as well. And let's choose 70. Super cool. The other thing you can do is you can actually lock the pitch steps. So let's do that. We can, oh, I didn't show you this before. So everything's moving forward, but we can move things backwards. And alternative, there's one called snake. If you select snake, that there's no documentation for it. So it just says here drunk. I'm not sure if drunk is the same as snake. So drunk equals stagger from step to step, and then there's random, but it says here snake rather than drunk. So maybe you can explain that to me. I don't really understand. Let's show you how that sounds for each different movement. Backwards. Alternate. Oops. Alternate. Alternate's going to go up and down, up and down. It's not going to go in one specific direction. Random is all over the place, which sometimes is pretty good. Okay, and then you can choose how many steps you want to go. So you, for example, you want to go just up to 5. Let's type 5 here. You can just play around with that until you get the desired outcome, I guess. It's not too bad. But let's just bring that back to 16. And you can also do is you can switch some of these steps off. Then we can do a bit of swing there. Acid. So another really cool thing you can do is you can just shift everything right or left. There you go, shift it all. Oh, that's the length there, but we can shift the notes as well. You can kind of lock this so you can move everything, including the things that you switched off. It did sound better before though. I think I ruined it. The octave is just needs to go down a little bit. Excellent, and we just randomize that a bit more. Yeah, I think I've completely ruined that. Okay, so we got those options. One thing I haven't shown you is you can also, if we get rid of that swing, we can actually go triplets. Really makes it fast. And then we've got dotted sync. That would sound good with this beat. Let's listen to it with a beat. No, I'm wrong. It doesn't sound good with a beat. Let's just switch that off. I think I've got to switch them on at the same time. Yeah, not the greatest beat I've ever done, but it's probably because I'm trying to talk to you guys and and make the beat at the same time, so that makes it a bit harder. But yeah, you can see all of the things that this thing can do. In addition to that, you can change here. Let's do this. We can change the tempo, not the tempo, the what's it called? The time mode. So you can switch it to beat sync. And the other thing you can do is go to page 2. There's actually other options. So if we go, for example, to time shift, that just changes the timing of each note. And then you've got ratchet. Ratchet is a strange one. So it gives you kind of these triplets. If we add triplets to triplets, so yeah, ratchet's a weird one. I'm just going to go back to the first page and reduce that octave by another one. And I'm going to get rid of that ratchet because it's annoying me a little bit. And then finally there's one called condition, which I still haven't quite worked out what condition is. I still haven't quite worked it out. So there you go. So that's condition. If you guys know what condition is, I'm a willing learner. So if we just go back to pitch, so it's good that pitch is shown on both pages actually. What we can do is with pitch and octave, and all of these actually, you can fix the length. So for example, you can fix pitch length to go just to between 1 and 3, or 5. And while everything else is moving forward, you can set pitch specifically to move backwards or use the other directions. Similar with other things like velocity. You can randomize the velocity. So that's it for that. What we can do is duplicate this baby, and because hopefully it's in the same key, we can slow things down and choose a different instrument here. So let's just choose any sort of chord. No, I don't want to choose chord. Let me just choose something else. Let's use a sampler. So we can use this instrument here. So I wanted something more like softer, like a piano. That's too soft. Let me just play it on my keyboard. And I can't play it on the keyboard. That's kind of sucks. Let's choose a different instrument. I think that's a little bit too harsh, but we can hopefully reduce some of the filter there. No, it's not right. I'm going to select something else. Let's choose that one. Oh, I know why it sounds so weird, because we've inherited that low octave. So I'm just going to bring that back to 0. So it's playing in the same scale. Hopefully it's going to sound okay in the scale. It's not too bad. Let's bring that to 16th. Bit of a hot mess actually. Hello, maybe. Hello, how are you? So I'm going to go back to this pitch because we're in that scale. I think I'm going to take a few more chances here. So I'm going to bring this back to 8. I'm going to choose a pitch up to 8 and then select different notes. Oh, it's only going length to 5. So we'll just bring that back. You can really get some really weird sounds here. So now I'm going back to the rhythmic step sequencer. So I'm going to select a hi-hat here, open hi-hat. I'm going to switch that effect that's on here off. Let's get this on here like okay, we'll just bring this back to its default. And we're going to choose a different hi-hat here. Choose a different velocity as well, a bit lower velocity. So that's super cool then. I'm trying to work out a way to make this melody a little bit more interesting. And there are probably ways. What we can do is, instead of having a forward direction, we can take this to 16, like to its default. But we can randomize it. Let's choose a different macro variation. I like this one more. I'm just going to go under the hood here because there's some reverb in here that I can't get rid of. And I'm not sure why that is. Let me just see. There it is. It's really weird because they've got the reverb in there, but it's not actually an option to control here. So I'm just going to switch that off. That's better. I mean, a little bit of reverb is okay actually, but not as much as I heard. Actually, there's not really a lot in there. Excellent. So with the length, we're going to get really variable here. With the length, going to have some really high lengths and some really lows. Oh, that's weird. Let's just bring these notes back into the play. So I guess a bit of playing around will get you to a point where you can find something that's usable. You know, with me, I just sometimes just like to, let's just duplicate this track, like to just play the melody on my own keyboard. Let's try that. Okay, so one thing that I haven't done, so I'm playing and I am using eMixolydian. I'd want to make sure my, where is it? MIDI effects, here we go. I want to make sure that my scale is scale aware. So This is going to automatically only allow me to play, or well, I hope it does, automatically play notes in that scale. I'm going to get rid of this fifth glitch and glitch charts. I thought it sounded good here. What have I done? That's better. Just going to copy the scale back into here. Right, let's loop that. Bummer, I didn't record that. I don't know how I didn't record that first note, but it should be easy enough to record. So just give me a second because I need two hands for this. I don't know why this is sounding so different to the other. Yeah. Oh, I get it. I mean, this is a sample. Who knows what key that's in? So let's just go back. I thought it was an analog instrument. Got to check stuff. Have I spelled analog wrong? Oh no, it's an instrument, not a plugin. Analog. We need an instrument here. Let's just do it this way. Analog. That's better. Why is this out of key? That is the question. Why is this out of key? This is E mixolydian. This is E mixolydian. That's E mixolydian. Let's switch this up. Oh, it's the instrument. It's the instrument. The instrument's out of key. So I think the latest instrument's out of key. So weird. So weird. Sometimes it's just hard to explain stuff. So that's too similar to the other instrument. We can change it. This is a drift instrument, isn't it? This one. So we can change it to sound a bit more like the analog sound that I'm looking for. Let's do that. Why not? So the first thing I'm going to do is keep that attack low. It is already low, so that's good. Keyboard, unison, voices. We need the release to be less. I can't see it here. I can't see a release here, so we can just switch everything off until such point that we are comfortable with the sound we want. Yeah, it's right in front of our face. It's right here. God. So let's just move everything so it's a bit shorter. There's the release there. God. I should like know this stuff. So we just reduce the sustain. So we just want kind of a pulse sort of sound. Can we get a drive? No, we'll just leave that off. And this is detuned, and it's still a bit too long, so I'm just going to reduce it like that. So with the drift, it's made of 2 oscillators. So if we switch one off, it's a bit easier to actually understand what's going on. So this one here has, switch the amp off on the second oscillator. And switch the vibrator off and the unison off. And the filter off. And the arpeggiator off. Now let's put the filter back on. dB. I'm really apologize if I'm boring you guys, but you know, this is kind of a process I go through. It just takes a while just to get the sound that you want. And yeah, this is freeform video, guys, so apologies. If you're even there, I don't even know if you're there. That's a bit better. It's just a bit loud, so just reduce the level. Bring the LFO back into play now. That's the movement that I like. Probably a little bit too much movement. Vibrator back. Let's bring the second oscillator back in. Finally, so what we can do is go back to what we tried to do, is bring that arpeggiator back into play. Now, to develop this into a song is definitely going to take me a long time. So I think I'm going to call it quits and say goodbye. But I'm just pretty chuffed that just a few people came on and watched this. So thanks a lot for doing that. As I said, I might turn this into a song and might release it. So if you want to hear what it sounds like, if you're not already, subscribe. And yeah, I'll put it on a link underneath this description, if indeed it is actually finished. Thank you very much. How do you switch this thing off? How do you switch this thing off? I think I got to press stop streaming. See you later.